Good morning, friends. Okay, the agenda for our discussion is definitely geography because we are here to read geography. But before we start reading geography, we need to understand few basic concepts about civil services examination. You have given attempt earlier. Are you well aware about there is a 3-stage examination with prelims, mains, interview. Mains is of almost 5 days, extending to 9 papers. All that you know. Okay. What I wanted to discuss before discussing geography is what is civil services or UPSC rather, Department of Personnel and Training, what are they looking for? Okay. They are not looking for muggers. If they were looking for muggers, they would have that on the basis of what education system has ruined us all these years. We have to unruin ourselves. We have to unlearn ourselves, whatever we have learned all these years, and then we have to begin a new practice of learning. Okay. That is why this exam is tough, because all the process in which we have studied all these years, like reading NCRTs, or if you are in CBSE syllabus, or if you are in ICSE syllabus, you will have to read your corresponding books, mug up, write the exam on the exam day, and then pass or fail. And depending upon that, you get your annual ranking. But this exam is not about it. So, before we start reading the syllabus of the exam, we need to understand what is DOPT looking for. And what is DOPT looking for? They have stated it. They have stated it very clearly in their examination curriculum itself. Okay, they are looking for a very good essay writer. Why do they conduct an exam for essay? Is because to know what is your awareness, the sense of awareness you have. For example, we have read about Archimedes principle. You are aware about Archimedes principle? There is a force of buoyancy. That is depending upon the density of the object, there is a force of buoyancy. So, or let us say Newton's law. Newton's law is a very common law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So, how do you apply Newton's law to Indian society? That kind of linking you have to do. Okay, so that is why I am saying that you have to be aware. You have to use all the knowledge that you have studied all these years and apply it for the social sciences. We have always given importance to science. That is the problem, that we have left the value of Indian society behind. We have left the value of geography behind. We have left the value of history behind. That is why UPSC is emphasizing on the social sciences subject. Why do we need to study history? We have read in so many answers that we read history to understand our past mistakes. But are we correcting our mistakes? If we were correcting our mistakes, have we genuinely brought that output? Okay, so to judge the present day's output, you need to know, you need to understand what is history, what is geography, how does economy runs, what is geography dependent upon, why are countries fighting, we know that countries are fighting for resources or ethnic tribes but there are so many contributing factors. There is history associated to geography, there is politics associated to geography, there is economics associated to geography. So all that awareness you have to pull up and put it down on paper. That is what UPSC is looking for. So you have to be aware. Okay, first thing first, you have to be aware. Second thing is this. Okay, the problem is we focus on problem. Okay, we have to, from today onwards, we have to ensure that we have to start focusing on solution always. Okay, when you go to a doctor, when you visit a doctor, the first thing the doctor asks you is, how are you feeling? Or what is your patient history? Did you face a similar problem earlier? Then later on, doctor gives you a solution, right? Have you seen a doctor who is continuously talking about your problem or symptoms or pain or misery? No. They give you a solution. That is how we move forward in life. Okay. Civil services, you would have heard from so many toppers that civil services makes you a good man, good person. How do they make you a good person? Is by remembering or keeping to your heart the preamble. Preamble makes a person an ideal person, the person who follows preamble to the heart and soul, they become to be a very ideal citizen. Okay, so that is what UPSC is trying to make you. Okay, you would have heard about Gaurav Agarwal, one of the toppers, previous year's toppers. He was an IIT and IIM graduate. Graduate from IIT, postgraduate from IIM, and he said that I was very sure while writing the first attempt I'll definitely pass in CSAT. I don't need to worry about CSAT. That time 33% was not a criteria. When he wrote CSAT, he had to score well in CSAT papers also. He is an IIT, IIM graduate. Obviously, everybody expects him to be a very good in English, maths, reasoning and all. But unfortunately, he said that my GS paper was brilliant, but my CSAT paper failed me in my first attempt at prelims. Why is that so? Because UPSC knows that where you are overconfident and where I need to shatter down your overconfidence. He said that in all my entire course of preparation, I learned one thing, that I should not be overconfident, even if I have knowledge. That is why we say that UPSC grooms you to become a very good person. In this entire course of learning, first thing that we will be focusing is to learn and not to memorize. Okay, what we have done in schooling is memorizing. We have first thing that we have to learn. Second thing is to be aware. Third thing is this, is focus should always be towards our goal and never on obstacles. Okay, so similar is this slide. See, this will always look small, the other side. You have to not focus here. Okay, do not focus on the problem, even if the problem looks very, very huge. Your always focus should be on the solution. Okay, if this is the problem, if I am unable to get up, if I am unable to read for long, what is the solution? I should increase my concentration in the period when I am studying. That is the solution. Okay, so your focus should always be on solution. If you do not have a solution for a particular problem, come to us, we are there to help you. Okay, the basic agenda will be to ensure your selection and to make you a very good person. Okay, so okay, this shall be our table of content. Just a minute. Any problem? Okay, you are also doing. Okay. Okay, so this shall be our table of content for today, discussion for today. That why are we reading geography? Why is geography required for a civil servant? Second one, we'll be discussing in detail the syllabus that you should be reading. Third one is few assignments, few questions we will be discussing, and about those assignments we will be understanding the topic. Okay. So we will just get versant with civil services and the geography part of civil services. Okay. Okay, why should you read geography to become a good civil servant? Is definitely it helps us understand our past, present and future. For example, have you gone through these days newspaper? Other than corona, what else is going on? Have you heard about Mediterranean issue that is going on? In Mediterranean Sea, very recently, natural gas has been found. So, because of the presence of natural gas, the Mediterranean Sea zone has become a zone of contention. Now, entire Europe is trying to extract this natural gas resource and use it for their own purpose. But what problem there has existed is, they have excluded an important country in the same region, Turkey. Okay. Now, in Turkey has changed, and with the change of this government, they have become a little fascist, a little right-wingers. Okay, so because of this shift, they have become a zone. You have heard about Hagia Sophia. It was a very popular church which has been very lately changed into a museum. Sorry, which was changed into a museum. Right now, it has been changed into a mosque. Okay, so Turkey is showing certain symptoms of extreme fascism. Okay, because of this, it has been excluded. What European countries say that because of this behavior of Turkey, we have excluded Turkey in this entire East Med group. Okay, but what is Turkey is saying? Because you are doing this, because you have excluded me from East Med group, I am not ready to listen to you, or I will go even more fascist. That is the excuse that Turkey is giving. So why is Turkey behaving in this way? What was the significance of fall of Constantinople 1453? Why did Istanbul block the trade for Europeans? Why did Byzantine Empire or the Ottoman Turks started to occupy that region? And why their occupying of Istanbul or fall of Constantinople, as we say today, why is that issue affecting even today? You would have heard about this incident called Fall of Constantinople 1453, wherein the same mosque that today we are talking about, this was initially a big museum, it was made a mosque, then back to museum, then church, and again now mosque. So how an important landmark is switching from one religion to the other religion is defining how that entire zone behaves, the country behaves, the rest neighboring country behaves. See, this East Med group contains all the other Arabian countries also, like Syria is also a member to it, even Israel is a member to it, Egypt is a member to it, they are all Arabian countries. And apart from this, Greece, Italy, so to the European side of Mediterranean Sea, they are also party to it. The Arabian people of Mediterranean Sea, they are also part of it. But all of them have excluded Turkey. They are saying because of this behavior that Turkey is showing extreme fascism. Okay? So to understand why is Turkey behaving in this way, we need to know the geography of Turkey. What is the significance of the location of Turkey? That it is significantly located between two important seas. So to understand the past, present and future of a place, you need to study geography. Okay. Secondly, I'll give you another example is one of the tribes in South India by the name Irula tribe. Okay. This tribe is very well known for making snake anti-venom in India. Okay. Why is this tribe making anti-venoms in India? Okay. Or secondly, another example is you would have heard about iron minings in Chikmagalur. Okay, there are huge deposits of iron in Mangalore, higher reaches in Western Ghats, and there are so many companies who are competing to exploit these resources. But there are so many committees like Gadgil committee who's recommended that Western Ghats should not be touched for mineral resource extraction. So because of this, the people have become agitated. Okay, so to understand why people have become agitated or why people are pro-government, which areas to tap for development, you need to read geography. Okay, you need to read geography to become a civil servant because, for example, if you are posted in a Naxal area, let us say in Odisha or Gadchiroli district of Maharashtra, you need to understand the problem there. Is there a mine resource? Is there availability of resource? Why are people so much agitated with the government? Because you have to carry on the administration there. And without knowing the geography of the place, you cannot carry out the administration there. Okay. So that is why UPSC wants you to read geography to understand the past, present and future. Okay. Culture, food, clothing, festivals, they all are determined by geography of the place. For example, we know, can you tell me any example for the second point? The culture dependence, that geography affects culture of a place, the food habits, the festivals are affected by geography. Can you state any example about it? Simple. So their festival will also be according to less colder time or more colder time, extreme winters or lesser winters. Okay, so their festival will be according to that. Food habits will also be according to the same thing. For example, I'll give you an example of food habits. The people from Central Asia, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan and all, they have less habit of eating vegetables. Can you guess the reason why? They eat more meat. As compared to India, Indians are more of a vegetarian. Can you think of a reason why? Okay, Central Asia ka location, do you have an idea of Central Asian location? Okay, I'll divert from topic here once again, I'm sorry. First thing first, you need to buy 4 maps. 4 maps. 2 physical maps, India and world. 2 political maps, India and world. Okay, 4 maps. I think we'll handle with the globe here itself in class. You don't need to buy globe, but map is a must. Okay, we will ensure during the classes that you people get versant with the location of the countries. Okay, if you are understanding the location of the country, because the civil in exam they are not going to ask you depending upon the climatic region. They are going to ask you based on the country itself. For example, China type of climate will definitely be present in China, but they will ask you questions with respect to Japan, okay, which has a similar type of climate. So they will be asking you the location of a place, and depending upon that, the climatic region, or why their food habits and all that. Okay? So you need to buy these 4 maps, and during the classes, we'll keep on practicing this. Second thing, I want extreme energy in class. Extreme energy. I cannot talk to people who are just listening to me. It will be very boring for you. It will be, although it may sound very cliche in every institute, every faculty says that I want energy in class, but I genuinely want energy in my class. Okay. Now back to this point. So Central Asia mein why people eat more meat as compared to Indians is because of lack of vegetative conditions there. The crops cannot be grown there. Crops like wheat, rice cannot be grown there. Why? Because they have lack of moisture, lack of rainfall. Since crops cannot be grown there, so their food habits are more of a non-vegetarian than of a vegetarian. Okay. So the food, clothing, festivals and all are also dependent upon culture. Sorry, geography. Okay, next point is why certain regions are more populated than others. Can you tell me which region of India is most populated? Northern Plains, very good. Why is Northern Plains more populated? Fertile land. So geography is again determining the population, and the population determines the society. Okay, which region is more populated will ultimately determine what kind of behavior that society will exhibit. Okay, so geography will in turn affect society also. Acha, why is certain environmental behavior in certain regions? For example, environmental behavior in terms of, we can say, Western Ghats. Okay, can you tell me 2 very distinct environmental behavior in India? Some place facing too much rainfall, some place facing extreme dryness. Both of them are there in India. So, Central India is relatively dry, and northeastern states are much more wetter. Agreed. Any other region? Extremely dry. Rajasthan. Thar deserts. Okay. So why is a climatic behavior in a particular place? Why Rajasthan is dry? Okay. Why is it a desert? Why is Central India? So many states every year after peaking summers, so many states in UP, which is entering into MP portion, that is Bundelkhand region, or the Chambal Ghati region, or the southern part of MP, the eastern part of Maharashtra, the western part of Andhra, or rather Telangana portion, all of them will declare 12 districts under drought, 15 districts under drought. Why is that drought, or why is such a climatic condition, is all determined by geography of the place. Okay. So this is all the reason why we are reading about it. This will be our 4 subdivisions that we will be reading. Okay. Physiography, to understand the rocks and soil of a place. Okay. Rock and soil will definitely determine the vegetation. What kind of crops do we grow there? Okay. Secondly is climatology. This is the basic fundamental part of geography. If you understand climatology, 70% of geography is done. Okay. Rather 50-60% of geography is done. The other determining factor is Indian geography. Okay. With these two are the most fundamental part, climatology and geography. If you are done with this, you are done with good part of geography. Okay. And this one, human and economic geography, this is important. Why? Because these all three will determine the human and economic geography. Okay. All 3 will determine human and economic geography. And human and economic geography is basically the part of syllabus. Salient features of world physical geography, which determines the distribution of key natural resources. Okay, which part is having, so this is the part of economic geography, including South Asia and Indian subcontinent. So we will be discussing, in general, we will be discussing the resources of entire world, all the continents of the world. But most importantly, South Asia and Indian subcontinent in a very detailed manner. Okay, all the members of BRICS nation we will be discussing, all the members of BIMSTEC we will be discussing, the resources, why is this country at par with India, or in what all ranking, they are with us, or better than us, or not as good as us. Okay. The next one is important geophysical phenomenon. For example, tsunami, volcanic eruption, geographical features, their location, for example, why mountains at a particular place, how are these mountains formed, what are young fold mountains, what are old fold mountains, and all that. And geographical features including water bodies, rivers, ice caps, in flora, fauna, and the effects of such change. Okay. Okay, list of resources, what you should be reading. Okay, apart from whatever institute gives you whatever materials, and I'm not discussing about the materials what institutes are giving you, I'm discussing about what is the key source. Okay, the key source is NCERT, which should be memorized from cover to cover. Cover to cover, I'm saying every bit, even the page numbers, if I'm not exaggerating, even the page numbers you should be memorized. Okay, NCERT. Second thing is, you should always have this handy, atlas and maps. That's why I told you that there are 4 maps which are required. Why I am telling you atlas and maps is because atlas gives you extreme details, which is not given, obviously, which is not available in maps. So whenever you are reading about, say, let us say Andaman and Nicobar, you should be aware of what part is Little Andaman, what part is Greater Andaman, what part is Nicobar, where is 10-degree channel, where is Dugong Creek, everything. Okay. That is why I want you to have maps, and that too, atlas. And that too, in atlas, you should definitely be having an Orient Longman. Oxford is optional, but Orient Longman is compulsory. Okay. Next is GC Leong and Maps of India website. This we will be referring for human and economic geography. Fine. Last one is class notes. I will be giving you class notes, but only for the important parts. Okay. For example, whatever is conceptual that you should keep in memory for a longer period of time, definitely that we will be having in class notes itself. Apart from that, I will be giving you handouts for resources, because resources keep changing. The problem is with all the older books, let us say Khuller and all, they have good resources, but the resources have changed, and it is not obviously the author's problem. That let us say in Kolar gold mines, golds are not available anymore. Okay, so to update those information, we'll be referring Maps of India, and I'll give you handouts for that, so you don't have to worry about it. The conceptual part we'll be discussing in class notes. Okay, so this will be the order of our class. We will begin with physical geography to understand the soil, vegetation, rock, and plate tectonics and all that, followed by climatology. Okay, next will be Indian geography, and last part will be human and economic geography. Fine. So there are 3 basic divisions of what we read in geography. Is lithosphere. The word lithos itself means crust, stones, rocks. Okay, so lithosphere, atmosphere that we breathe, we live in. Okay, second is atmosphere, third is hydrosphere, and at the junction of these 3 lies the biosphere, wherein we are living. Okay, that is the only part, exactly, where life exists. Okay, your environmental geography is also related to biosphere part as well as atmosphere part. Oh, sorry. Okay, environmental geography is also related to all 4 of them. Okay, we will be reading about why nitrogen deposits are found in entire Ganga belt. Okay, why is there more ammonia deposited here? Why certain regions, or why Delhi is experiencing more smog or more pollution? The PM levels are extremely very high just around Diwali. Okay, so all that reason we will be reading in geography or in environment or the merger part of both. Right? Lithosphere, we will be discussing about Earth's crust. Right? In hydrosphere, we will be discussing marine life, oceans, even the coral reef, important species that you will be dealing in environmental classes. Okay, in atmosphere, we will be reading about its formation. How was the atmosphere formed? What are the important gases? Then we will be reading about the cycles: water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, sulfur cycle, and all that. Okay. This is very interesting. I wanted to show you guys why you can inculcate an interest in geography. Is this was the first map of the world. You cannot understand this, can you? No, just try looking at it in an inverted manner. Okay, so we were discussing about this map. This was the first world map made by Ali. Okay, you don't need to know the name of the person, but what is interesting is this map was inverted. This was the Arabian Peninsula. I mean, sorry, is the Arabian Peninsula, and the point where it is linking here, or rather not linking, this point has been cut off to form the Suez Canal. This, now can you see, can you visualize this map? Bilkul opposite, bilkul opposite. Okay, this is where India is. Okay, so this was one interesting thing I found in geography which I wanted to discuss. Apart from this, there are so many other things also. Apart from this, there are so many other things also. For example, in one of the previous year UPSC question, it was asked, what is that beach in Odisha wherein you can walk on the sea floor up to 2 kilometers? Okay, that is simple science. With the line between high tide line and low tide line is almost 2 kilometers. So where you are walking, when the sea is under low tide, you are walking actually on the seabed. Okay, that's a place called Chandipur. So, sorry, Chandrabhaga. Chandrabhaga beach. Okay, so these are certain interesting things which you should keep on noticing and observing. When you keep your awareness high, you will be witnessing all these things. Okay, you might not find it in newspaper, but when you read about places, you will be gaining all these knowledge. Okay, so this is the real world map which Al-Idrisi tried to make. And also you would have definitely heard about Alexander. He was also a geographer. Aristotle, very good geographer. They all were interested to know how to reach India, because India that time was very well known for its resources, for science. In ancient India, we have done extreme discoveries in the field of science. Not only ancient India, medieval India has also done significant discoveries in the field of science and maths and literature and on and on and on. Okay. So all these people were very much interested to come to India. So in the urge to know where is India located, there were so many people who have left Europe. Okay. For example, the Strait of Magellan. Here lies the Strait of Magellan. Somewhere here. When you go back, please see this place in Atlas. Okay. This person, Magellan, started from Europe. Okay. In Portugal, he started from Portugal and in search of looking for India. First time, the first person who left looking for India was Columbus. He landed up in America. Okay, this part of America he landed up because that time it was thought that India is almost 1,000, some 3,000, 5,000 kilometers west of few islands here in Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so Europeans were able to reach till here, they were not able to reach till India. So they moved some 3,000, 5,000 kilometers to the west and they thought that we have reached India, and that is why this place has been named as Indies, because actually they were looking for Indians. Okay, these people are even till date known as Red Indians. Okay, so the first person he could not reach India. The second person, this you will be reading in history in detail, I guess. The second person was Magellan. I really feel pity for this man because he started from Portugal, crossed over South America, crossed entire Pacific Ocean, reached till Philippines looking for India, and he died in Philippines. So he was also looking for India. Then the third person reached till Cape of Good Hope, southern tip of Africa. And the fourth person finally, who was the fourth person? Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama, who was able to successfully reach India, and there lies the beginning of, you can say that is the portion in between medieval history, medieval Indian history, and which has definitely determined the course of modern Indian history. Okay, so that was the significance of India in the ancient world. In the ancient world also, we know that we used to trade with Romans, the Indus Valley civilization. We have had great contacts with Macedonia, Greece, and who have also determined our Indian culture. The coins. So there are so many things. So you need to know where our country is located. Okay. What was the significance of India? That you will be reading in history. What was the significance of India that they were looking for India? Okay. Somebody had told, I don't remember exactly the name of the person, but somebody had told to Alexander that India lies near Caspian Sea. So he actually, when Alexander invaded India, while returning back, he was able to get 4 routes to reach India. Okay, so he was a very significant geographer who increased the connectivity of India. So this is the region which is going on in news. We were talking about Mediterranean Sea. This region is always in news because of the disturbed population, especially ethnic issues. This region determined the course of the First World War, Balkan Wars. The Austrian prince was killed in this region. Okay. We know that this is a very powerful country, one of the 2 bipoles of the world, and the other one being this. Okay. Okay, this is definitely our sweet nation and the continent that we will be reading in detail. Subcontinent we will be reading in detail. So you tell me, what is a subcontinent? Any idea? Very good, simple, logical. It is similar to continent, but in what terms is it similar to continent? Why do we call it? Okay, just because of the size, do we call a continent as a continent? There are different types of climate within the same continent also. But yeah, that is also correct, that the climate is determined upon the location of the continent. Okay. Also, the culture of a continent is more or less similar. The culture of Indian subcontinent is very much similar. Okay. You know, one of the festivals that we celebrate is our new year does not coincide with the Gregorian calendar. 1st of January is not basically our new year. In most parts of India, in South India, I think it is celebrated as Ugadi. No. Ugadi? In the month of March, do you celebrate any new year? What is it called? Ugadi only. Okay, so in South India it is Ugadi. In North India it is Baisakhi. Punjab and all, they celebrate as Lohri. Okay. In the eastern half we celebrate during the month of Holi. So more or less they are all lying in the month of March. Okay, Lohri is little end of winter season itself, but they also celebrate their new year in Baisakhi, which is in the month of March. This month of March, which determines the new year of Indian subcontinent, this extends from almost Turkey. Since Turkey people are celebrating in the month of March their new year, till Bangladesh, even CLMV, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam and Myanmar, they are all celebrating their new year in the month of March. This is recognized by UNESCO. So you can see the cultural similarity in this entire belt. This entire belt shows this huge cultural similarity. Within Indian subcontinent, it is much more. Okay, the use of spices in our food is relatively similar. Okay, even the food habits, the clothing, the festival, the economy, the trades, there are so much similarity in the Indian subcontinent. That is why we call it as a subcontinent, because we have the characteristics of a continent but not the size of the continent. Okay. Okay, you need to map. Definitely we will be discussing the basic meanings of certain words, such as isthmus, canals we know. Okay, what is an isthmus? Any idea? Very good. 2 big land masses joined by a small strip of land is isthmus. Okay. 2 big water bodies joined by a small strip of water body is called you know any popular strait in somewhere near Indian subcontinent? Malacca, Park Strait, Indian subcontinent, I mean between India and Sri Lanka, Park Strait. Malacca Strait is between? It's almost Singapore. The last tip of Malaysia is Singapore and Indonesia in the southern side. So we will have to map isthmus strait and all across the world map. Okay, the Bar Strait, the Cook Strait, Bering Strait, so many straits and isthmus which determine the geography, which determine the economy of that place should be known. Okay, we should know that Malacca Strait is the busiest strait across. For the trade, it is the busiest strait across the world. Okay, because of the amount of trade being carried out in the Indo-Pacific region. As of now, or let us say maybe till 1990s or 2000s, this significance of Atlantic Ocean was very high because the trade between Europe and North America was very high. Now this entire trade focus has shifted to Indo-Pacific region. Okay, so that has brought the importance of, that has increased the importance of Malacca Strait. Okay, so you should be very well versed with this map. Okay, this is our India that we need to study in extreme detail. I cannot emphasize the importance. The stone, the air, everything related to India is important. Okay, prelims focus is more towards India. Okay, the questions are also more with respect to India, or else if they are asking from world geography, what they will be asking is mostly with respect to either climate, like Mediterranean type of climate or China type of climate, or if they are asking with respect to world, it will be definitely maps. Okay, but if they are asking with respect to India, it can be anything under the sun. Okay, so few basic information that we need to remember here is Tropic of Cancer passes through India. Okay, Tripura also. 8 states, yes. And the mnemonics for this is Rajiv Gandhi made Chief Justice wait for the meeting. Is it? Now, can you tell me the states here? Tell me. Okay, it is. यहाँ पे भी है थोड़ा सा ऊपर से. It should be little above. Okay, I have drawn the line little below. Again, we'll have to take a 30 seconds break. So, imagine this line is here. Actually, Tropic of Cancer is passing from this line. Now, can you tell me the states? This is? Chief Justice, wait. नहीं. S नहीं है. Oh, sorry, Chief Justice, wait. Okay, I have written the mnemonics ulta. I'll write the mnemonics once again. Rajiv Gandhi made Chief Justice wait for the meeting. Now it is clear? Rajasthan, Gujarat, MP, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura and Mizoram. Okay. What is important again here is these. A very confusing zone for those who have not started studying for civil services. There are UPSC board members who have asked students to draw the map of northeastern India with the districts also. If the board is very annoying or in a bad mood, they may ask you to do that. But what you have to keenly remember is the location of important mountains, the rivers which are determining factor, because the map of northeastern India is very easy basically. The important mountains determine the boundaries of the state. Okay, so it is easy to draw, but you need to remember the location of those mountains. Okay, that we'll be reading again in detail in Indian geography. This is the Tropic of Cancer, which is the latitude is 23.5 degree north. Okay, 23.5 degrees south. This is Capricorn. This is Cancer. 66.5 north. This is Arctic Circle. 66.5 south. This is Antarctic Circle. Okay. Now, with respect to India, there is another important line, longitude. This is latitude. Latitude and longitude we'll be discussing in detail, definitely. But only with respect to India, one important longitude is the one that is determining our time, which is passing through somewhere near Allahabad. It is actually Mirzapur. Okay, so if we draw it like this, this is how it comes out. And both of them are meeting in Chhattisgarh. You will find this in innumerous test series, this question, where Tropic of Cancer meets IST, Indian Standard Time. Okay. Apart from this, there was one of the UPSC question again. They were asking, do Delhi, Bangalore lie in the same latitude? It was something similar. The few places were named and they were asking which is the place which is closest in longitude with respect to Delhi. Okay. So, that was the question. So, you will have to very keenly notice whether the timing of sunrise and sunset is similar. Okay. If the timing of sunrise and sunset is very much similar or close to each other, then that means they are lying in the same longitude. Okay. Then earlier UPSC also used to ask questions like this, that you had to identify the states in which few criteria were given. One such criteria was it lies in the same latitude as that of, let us say, Rajasthan or Delhi or UP. Okay. So, you will have to very keenly remember the latitude lines. Okay. Whenever you are reading, especially about the northeastern states, because the forest cover keeps changing there. Okay. So, whenever you are reading about northeastern states, always keep it in reference that it is coming in the same latitude of which other western state of India. Okay. Another important thing, the twisting part which UPSC asks is about if you are traveling, let's say from Leh to Amravati, how many, the minimum number of states that you will be crossing. So, you will have to very keenly notice that UP also touches certain part of Himachal Pradesh. Okay. So, the minimum number of states ke liye you will have to start from Leh, enter into Himachal, directly enter into UP from after that Chhattisgarh and then continue. So, you will have to notice which state is touching which state's boundary. Or in the northeast, again it is the chicken's neck. This part is called the chicken's neck, because it is very important zone which is connecting the mainland India with the northeastern states. The problem is, if we have poor ties with either Nepal or Bhutan, we are going to lose the northeastern states. So, we need to maintain very good ties with respect to these two nations. Okay. So, this is the zone of chicken's neck. Again, in chicken's neck, the states are very keenly passing through the international border. Okay. For example, Bihar touches Nepal but doesn't touch Bhutan. On the other hand, West Bengal has a very small boundary with Bhutan. Okay. So, whenever you are reading about India's map, you have to be extremely careful. That's why I am telling you, with respect to India's map, the air, stone and leaves are also important. By looking at the leaf of a place, you should be able to determine the climatic conditions of that place, and we will be able to do so. You don't have to worry about it. We will be able to do so after reading geography. Okay. Okay, certain passes are important. For example, Uttarakhand, here all these things are in news. This portion is in news. Okay, because Nepal has claimed certain area there. Okay. The problem is that Uttarakhand and Nepal boundary was determined by the Kali river. Okay. Now, Kali river has shifted its course. So, Nepal has started claiming more land there, the region of Kalapani. Okay. So, whenever you are reading newspaper or with respect to any place, you should be knowing, for example, as of now, China, again India-China standoff has started. So, you should be knowing where is the location of Pangong Tso. What does So mean? This Pangong Tso is the name of the lake where we are fighting against Chinese army. So, what does this mean? Where is this lake located? This lake is actually lying within India as well as China also. What China claims is it is completely part of Chinese territory. Okay. So, you should be knowing about, whenever you are reading newspaper, you should go back and check on, place it on map, where does they lie. Okay. Another important zone in news is this, Chusul, Galwan Valley. Galwan Valley, where in the month of, I think, June, there were contentions. Pangong Tso was in newspaper even today. Chusul was also, these are all areas where as of now contention is going on. So, you should be knowing these places. Okay. We are not facing just the international border issues with respect to China, but also with respect to Pakistan. Pakistan, so definitely Kashmir is a issue, but apart from Kashmir, we have also fought against Pakistan at this front. And it's this place, the disputed zone is the Sar Creek issue. So we will be reading about what is a creek, okay, and the location of Sar Creek also, okay. Again in Andaman and Nicobar, this is the favorite area of UPSC. One of the most beloved area of UPSC. These days they have started focusing on islands. Lakshadweep, Northeast again is a very favorite area of UPSC, including Western Ghats. Now, because Himalayan glaciers are melting very fast and the transition, just today morning, you guys saw that the sir was discussing one question on climate change, okay. The climate change basically means extremities. We are witnessing extremities. Summer means extreme summer, winter means extreme winters, rainfall means extreme rainfall. Again, drought means extreme drought. All the Himalayan plain region, at least Himalayan plain region is not supposed to witness any drought, but still the Bundelkhand region is witnessing drought. Okay, so you will have to understand the zone of this entire Ganga belt, or the Ganga with its tributaries. Why is Bundelkhand, why is Chambal facing droughts, and all that we will be discussing again in detail. With respect to India, that you will have to notice, this is again important zone where we are fighting against Sri Lanka, the Park Strait. What we usually do is, our fishermen often cross over international boundaries and get caught in Sri Lanka. Every other government which has changed, every other government has called so many fishermen back from Sri Lanka. But again, it's a contentious issue. Although very recently with the change of government in Sri Lanka, they have become pro-Indian. But again, it depends upon the next elections in Sri Lanka. How will their behavior be? Okay. As of now, we are losing good relationship with Nepal. Okay. Since it started actually deteriorating with the change in the government there. A communist government has appeared, and again communist government is definitely not pro right wing government that we are having as of now. Okay, so you will have to read India's map in extreme detail. Acha, this is also important zone. This is the Wakhan corridor. This connects us from Central Asia, okay. And when Article 370 was repealed last year, it was I think 5th of August 2019, the legendary date. This date, our Honorable Home Minister has also clearly stated that Kashmir is now completely Indian territory. Kashmir also means Pak occupied Kashmir. And when we say Pak occupied Kashmir, the entire zone where Pakistan is fighting against us, stating that stating that this portion belongs to Pakistan. This entire portion belongs to Pakistan. This is what they are saying. Okay. But we are saying that they call it as POK. We call it as POK. But after repeal of 370, we are saying that entire Kashmir, including POK, is also part of Indian territory. We have also allocated seats to POK, Legislative Assembly seats to POK, and have requested the representative to come and attend the Legislative Assembly meeting at Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. So, Wakhan corridor is important for us because it is connecting us to Central Asia, and Central Asia has huge reserves of uranium, of petroleum, natural gas, so many resources. Okay, so if we lose POK or we lose Wakhan corridor, that means we are losing connectivity with respect to Central Asia. That is why it is important. Okay. Okay, so that is India. With respect to India, you should know certain data. Okay, usually, I would not say always, but usually UPSC does not ask data until and unless the data is extremely big or extremely small. They will not ask such data. But why you need to remember, at least definitely these three data, why you need to remember is you need to put up these in your answer. Okay, in our classes, we will be also discussing some census data with respect to 2011 especially. the last census. We will also be discussing census data again, which is not important for your prelims, but it is important for your mains. Okay, you need to quote the change in demography, the change in sex ratio, the change in MMR data. So there we will be discussing census data of 2011. Okay, with respect to India, these three data is definitely very important. A population of 135.26 crores, which is ever increasing. According to UN population report, we are going to surpass China by 2030. We will surpass China with the largest population in the world. Still, we have third largest economy in PPP. Until and unless we get the next economic budget, we know that this data is correct, that India is third largest economy in terms of PPP. What is PPP? Purchasing power parity. By meaning purchasing power parity means, for example, in US, you need to pay a minimum of $10, let's say, or at least $7 for a toothpaste. If we assume it as $10 to round off the numbers, if it is $10 for a toothpaste, that means in terms of Indian currency, if we say that it is 76, let us say 65, let's be optimistic, 65 is the exchange rate. $1 is 65 rupees. That means how much Indian currency you are paying for one toothpaste there? 650 rupee. And imagine 650 rupee mein, in India, if somebody is selling toothpaste at 650 rupee, he will be beaten in the middle of the street. So this is the meaning of purchasing power parity. That means with respect to our economy, what is the amount of money that we are paying to buy certain good, and what is the amount of money that you are paying to buy certain good. So we are generating a parity with respect to purchasing power of the Indian people with respect to your American people. We are generating a parity, a comparison. Okay. So with respect to purchasing power parity, we are third largest economy in the world and seventh largest in size. Okay. Moving on to the next slide. This is a small video wherein I wanted to show you how was Indian subcontinent formed rather. This was the Tethys Sea, T-E-T-H, so looking into the consequent rivers, that rivers which were already present before the Himalayas were formed, or the rivers which are formed as a result of formation of Himalayas. Okay, how they have cut through the important passes and still flowing till date with huge amount of volume of water. So we will be discussing them again in detail. Okay, this is another lake which was in news is the Lonnar Lake. And why was it in news? Any idea? This is the lake originally, and it has recently turned into a pink color. Okay. So these are two important images. Why it was in news is because Lonnar Lake has changed its color. Why was Lonnar Lake formed? Any idea? How was Lonnar Lake formed? It was formed because of a meteorite attack. Because meteorites were able to reach Earth's surface, usually they are not able to reach Earth's surface. In movies, they show, if you ask for wishes with breaking star, in Tutta Tara in the Bollywood movies, they will show that if you ask for wishes, your wishes get successful. But it is definitely nothing related to that. It is just a piece of stone which is burning in atmosphere because of the presence of so many gases. The density of atmosphere is so high that it burns. And it is usually unable to reach to the Earth's surface. But one very huge such stone was able to reach the Earth's surface and was able to create such a huge lake, okay, by the name Lonnar Lake. Okay, UNESCO has recognized this and it has put up Lonnar Lake in Global Geopark Network. It is just a nominee. It has not won the award yet, but it is one of the nominee to Global Geopark Network. Okay, this recognition is given by UNESCO. Apart from Lonnar Lake, two important beaches. Can you name this place? At least people from Karnataka should be able to tell me. Where is it? Malpe Beach? Coastal Karnataka, definitely. But which part of coastal Karnataka? Because it is a beach. Mangalore only. Okay. Malpe Beach and St. Mary's Island, they were formed when, forget about Indian subcontinent, forget about Himalayas, forget about Deccan. It was formed when we started leaving the South Pole. This as a landmass, we were part of the South Pole. Okay, we started moving from South Pole, we shifted towards North, and in the meanwhile, when we were shifting towards North, we met a group of islands by the name Reunion Islands. which is even today present in Indian Ocean. When we met Reunion Islands, then we were able to witness few volcanic activities in the western part of India. These two, especially Malpe Beach and St. Mary's Island, they contain rock of those ages when we met Reunion Islands, and then the Deccan traps started to form. Because of the volcanic eruption, the shield mountains were formed. Okay, we will be discussing, don't worry about what are shield mountains, but shield mountains were formed when we met Reunion Islands. So the first thing you can understand it as, the first physical rock formation which occurred on Indian mainland were amongst these two, Malpe Beach and St. Mary's Island, both of them lying in Mangalore. Okay. So the St. Mary's Island, again, it's an island, so you have to move away from the coast, Mangalore coast, but otherwise Malpe Beach is definitely in Mangalore itself. Okay. All these three have been recognized as a nominee to UNESCO's Global Geopark Network. So let's conclude the class as of today. We'll be meeting tomorrow again to understand why plates move. Okay, and one another very important thing that is going on in news is Africa is breaking apart to generate a new continent, a new ocean also. Okay, it is also about to connect two important oceans. So we will be discussing all these things, why such a huge geographical phenomenon takes place, and will we be able to witness this? Okay, thank you.